Hi guys, I'm Shahzad Sheikh and this is the Autocrats. Now, on the canvas of the UAE, one automotive icon has left an indelible imprint. It has a colourful history, it's dripping in character, and it has had more than a brush with royalty. Whether in the city or off-roading, this beast paints an imposing picture over any landscape it chooses to traverse. It is, of course, the Mercedes G Wagon. Say hello to the all-new version. All new, you ask? Hasn't it been around for a while? Well, if by for a while you mean as far back as 1979, then you wouldn't be wrong. In fact, in the 70s, Mercedes teamed up with an Austrian military vehicle manufacturer to produce what they called the Geländewagen. In German, literally means cross-country vehicle. So popular were these, in fact, that they produced over 300,000 of them by hand over nearly 4 decades. It is one of the longest running vehicles in continuous production. Now they're calling this the second generation car, and I can't wait to take it for a drive. Well, I would take it for a drive if the production crew had left any fuel in it. I guess it's time to go find an ENOC. Oh, I bet there'll be an AutoPro there. I tell you what, let's do an AutoPro trivia in this episode. Do you know how many branches of AutoPro there are in the UAE? See you there. Now, a car like this needs a faster, smarter, easier and safer refueling system, something like ENOC's VIP service. Now, it's an RFID based technology, and once you put the VIP tag on the car, it automatically knows your refueling preferences, and then you just fuel and go. Hey mate, fill it up for me please. You know, whilst the car is refueling, I think I'll go and refuel myself as well. So as I was saying earlier, this is an all-new car, and only these little headlamp washers, the door handles and the spare tyre cover are carried over from the previous model. It still has a tough ladder frame chassis, which is stronger and stiffer too, by 55% in fact. It's also 170 kilograms lighter, with the fenders, bonnet and doors made of aluminium. It's longer and quite a bit wider too, as you'll see when we get inside. And whilst you may be struggling to spot the differences, it's got smoother edges, and the headlights seem to sit further within their surrounds. The surrounds themselves are slanted back into the vehicle. It also remains quite practical. The boot's a decent size and you have 60/40 folding rear seats. And talking of the rear seats, there's 150 millimeters of extra legroom in there. What I really want to show you, the front cabin. Come with me. Now this is a revelation. You know, the old car, I could barely drive it for a couple of hours because of my body shape and size. I'm about 6'2" and I felt really cramped in that car. But this one has 38 millimeters more leg and shoulder room, as well as quite a bit more elbow room. And then there's this dashboard. I mean, wow, look at it. They've taken this, of course, from the current E-Class, and there's two 12.3-inch displays. It's all very modern in here. Let's take it for a little drive. So this is a G500 and it has a 4-litre bi-turbo V8 putting out 420 horsepower and 450 pounds-foot of torque from just 2,000 RPM. And it certainly moves, and that's considering the fact that this thing weighs 2.5 tons. Despite that, it does 0 to 100 in under 6 seconds. And the 9-speed auto actually does a great job and improves fuel economy. In fact, this thing actually has an eco mode. It's also got a comfort mode and a sport mode, plus an individual mode. And in the individual mode, you can set up the engine, the transmission, the suspension, the exhaust note, and even the steering to your personal preferences. Talking of the steering, it's now got rack and pinion. It's electric power steering, but it's got rid of the old recirculating ball system. And I've got to say, it's so much more precise and responsive than it was before. It's got independent front suspension now, and immediately you can feel that it's more stable, there's less body roll, it handles better, and you really feel like it's a car that can handle more power. Plus it stops better as well. But is it compromised when it comes to off-roading, I hear you ask? Don't be silly. It's got 241 millimeters of ground clearance, it's got better wading depth, better approach and departure angles, and I haven't even mentioned the 3 diff locks which you can operate from up here. That's the front axle, rear axle, and the center clutch. There's also a G mode that can set up all the settings for you so you don't have to worry about it, or you could select sand or trail or even rock crawling. Overall, I've got to say they've done one heck of a job with this car. It's got all of the traditional values of a G Wagon, but now it feels like a thoroughly modern high-performance SUV. It's great. It's been a long old day and the car deserves a bit of pampering. Now, earlier on in the AutoPro trivia question, I asked you how many of these centers are there here in the UAE. Well, there's nearly 40 of them, so there's bound to be one near you. So what do they do here? Well, AutoPro is a one-stop shop for all your car maintenance requirements. Whether it's getting your car washed and detailed, getting an oil change, having electrical work done including battery replacement, having your AC serviced, changing tires, checking your wheels and balancing, as well as the alignment, and of course, most crucially, checking your brakes. Talking of which, it's time to put the brakes on this episode of the Autocrats. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please check out this link below where you can leave your comments, questions and suggestions, and we'll catch you next time.